Come here. Come here.
I said we're shut, pet.
You what?
We're shut.
No, you're not. Get that fucking cooker on.
Right then, welcome back everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Netflix's new series, 1899. It follows a group of multinational immigrants travelling to America aboard a steamship when they receive a radio signal from its sister ship, the Prometheus. The issue is, the Prometheus had seemingly disappeared 4 months ago without a trace. What follows changes the journey from comfortable to horrifying as the passengers encounter a nightmare-like riddle seemingly connected to all of their pasts. The series does a really great job of leading you down one path and making you think you've got it all figured out, and then within a flash completely pulling the rug from under you. It's a really enjoyable watch with lots of different languages included, which you don't often get, and it will keep you guessing right until the very end. Now there are unfortunately quite a few unanswered questions by the end of it, which I'd like to discuss here, so spoiler warning for those who haven't seen the show already, what are you doing? And so without further ado, let's get into it. At the start of the series, everything seems normal-ish. We have a rather mixed bag of people from all over the world heading towards a new life in America. The main character we follow is Maura, who is searching for her missing brother, who she believes is on the Prometheus. The rest all seem to be slightly shifty and probably hiding something, but besides this there's nothing out of the ordinary occurring yet. This all changes, however, when the crew receive a message from the missing ship, the Prometheus. When they arrive at the Prometheus, they find it completely empty, without any signs of life except one little boy who had been locked in a cupboard. He has with him a strange pyramid device thing, and also will not say a word, leaving the passengers and crew even more bemused over the whole situation. At the same time this is happening, an unidentified man boards the ship, seemingly having spawned in the middle of the ocean, and joins the other passengers. Now this is the turning point for the show. From this point on, things just get weirder and weirder. I'm going to talk about the other episodes in more detail now, so final spoiler warning for anyone that hasn't seen the show yet. Sort yourself out and go and watch it. As the story progresses, things begin to happen that simply couldn't be possible on a cruise ship. Most notably, the main character Maura and the captain of the ship, Ike, discover hidden passages underneath their cabins that lead to vast landscapes that clearly could not fit inside a cruise ship. They weren't just random landscapes though, they were scenes where they had gone through traumatic experiences and events in their respective lives. Later on in the series, we also find out that Maura's father is the owner of the cruise ship company and seemingly the nefarious force behind everything going on, and that both Maura and Ike are both on the manifest of the passengers and crew of the Prometheus, something that neither of them have any recollection of, so clearly something isn't right. Now I don't want to brag, but by this point I had already guessed what was going on, and to be honest, I assume most of you already had too. We learned that, of course, it's all a simulation. Pretty original idea that, to be fair. I definitely cannot think of a major film that came out recently with that same twist. Anyways, the full explanation is that it's in fact Maura that's created the simulation, and her father was actually trapped inside too. She allegedly did this in order to prolong the life of her dying son, who turns out to be the boy locked in a cupboard found on the Prometheus. This is all explained by the mysterious man who'd boarded the ship randomly in episode 1, who turns out to be Maura's husband, Daniel. He tells her that she chose to forget everything in order to avoid the pain of her real life and her child dying, hence why she didn't recognise her son or husband. He explains that the simulation of the cruise ship has been stuck in an endless loop, and all this time he's been trying to get Maura to remember her past and finally break free. There's a lot of umming and ahhing and toing and froing as Maura tries to work out if she believes what Daniel's telling her. But eventually she comes round and manages to break the loop using the pyramid device her son had in the first episode and escape the simulation. Before she does that though, Daniel gives Maura one final piece of information that is perhaps the most important. That her brother, whom she believed to be missing, is in fact running things outside the simulation and has taken over completely.
Your brother, he took over the whole program whilst you were in here.
What?
With that, Maura awakes, where we find her plugged into the simulation along with all the crew members, but not Daniel. In an incredibly random turn of events though, we see that they are all in fact in a spaceship, along with presumably hundreds of others, all plugged into the simulation, travelling through space. I know, what the fuck. We see a message pop up on the screen inside the spacecraft from Kieran, Maura's brother, confirming what Daniel had said, and that's it, that's where we're left. Yep, seriously, that's where it ends. An obnoxiously large cliffhanger and a bunch of unanswered questions. I'm now going to go through my unanswered questions in the hope that someone who sees this video is a lot smarter than me and knows the answers. So here we go. Number 1. Why doesn't Daniel just tell Maura everything right away, as soon as the simulation resets? If he's been through the whole thing countless times, why does he wait around to the very end every time and just skulk around mysteriously for the first few days? What is the point? Number 2. Even if Maura did remember everything, why would she create the simulation to be such a stressful and terrifying scenario? If she was trying to extend her time with her son, surely she'd create an enjoyable simulation for the both of them. Number 3. Why is Daniel not in the spaceship at the end, and is his and Maura's son alive? And number 4. What was the whole deal with Maura's father then? Firstly, how had he become trapped in the simulation? And secondly, why can he not find the boy the whole time? Surely if he's watching from above and controlling the boat simulation, he knows where everyone is and can just grab them out. Maybe I'm just being stupid, but none of that really made sense to me. If you do know the answers to any of these questions, please comment the answers below. I really hope this doesn't put you off though. It's still a really enjoyable show to watch. The story is really intriguing, and I just hope that season 2 fills in all the gaps from the first season. Future me here. Netflix just cancelled the show and they aren't renewing for a season 2. Brilliant. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not check out this other video I made about a very underrated series by the name of Under the Banner of Heaven.